Hey guys, what's up? Wanted to come on here to do a late night package opening. It's about 11:18. Would have done this earlier today, but I wasn't here, as you'll probably see by some video. I was actually out with family doing a little bit of early Mother's Day get-togethering. We went to Ott Farms, did some cherry and berry picking, and before that we went to what was known as Harvest House, I think, a Harvest Moon House. For brunch, for brunch, if you will, where everybody paid, not just for the old meals, but for other people as well. Like me, I like my mom. She had her meal paid by my older sister and her husband, along with, of course, their son. And then my second older sister and her husband paid for her husband's mother and father-in-law, as well as their youngest son. And me, I kind of like figured, what, I can't get anything real nice right now for my niece, or didn't have time to go online like I did with the other family members, or the other mothers, if you will, and get something nice, my sisters and my mom. So I figured, you know what, I'll pay for her lunch, and that's what I did. So I paid for her lunch, and for her, not her lunch, but her brunch, her and her fiance. I paid for theirs. And it's also because of the fact that she's willing, as far as I know right now, unless things come up, and things do, she's willing to help me out with getting, these taken care of here within the next several months or something like that. Because I'm basically heading towards the direction of veneers and probably going with those a little bit more than anything. But anyway, like I said, it's because of that I wasn't here to do a package opening when these packages did come. So I have to do it now, and of course my mom's on the phone, my second older sister. So that kind of helps out a little bit. But these packages, if they're what I think they are, there are some packages that are still going to be coming next week, starting this Monday and stuff. But in some of them, at least one or two of them that are coming this week, along with these, if they're what I think they are, have to do with this. Now, this, of course, is the Retron 77, which is the Hyperkin, the Hyperkin modernized version of homage, if you will, to the Atari 2600. And according to people like Metal Jesus Rocks and Re-Rex, excuse me there, and Re-Res, got allergies. But basically, according to them, this works with 99%, or at least 90 to 95% of the Atari cartridges that you put in it. Now, does it work with all of them? No, and that's exactly where the 90 to 95% workability comes into play, according to Metal Jesus Rocks and Re-Res and all of them. Mad Little Pixels and everybody else that's talked about it. But yeah, I got a couple of packages today. They're right here, if you will. All ordered off Amazon through third-party partners. One was ordered from Game On, Play On out of Newberg, Oregon. This one was bought by Another Castle Video Games out of Edmonds, Washington. And this one was out of Atlanta, Georgia, out of Ravenholland Electronics. So, yeah, 3 different regions here in the country where they came from. And again, there's like a few more to come next week, along with other packages. So be on the lookout for those. But with that said, though, what did I get to kind of add to the already kind of built Atari collection that I had? And this is kind of what I'm talking about, like, 90%, 95%, like what Metal Jesus did, of cartridges work, because this works on there, this doesn't, and I think it has to do with that chip in there. So, yeah, it's not working. Have to probably get a regular Atari down the line to make that work, but it's still good to have. And that's the one thing about collecting these things. You get to kind of figure out, not only do you collect them just for collectible sake, because you don't see them out there that much, but also the fact that, it gives you an opportunity that, if you go on to, like here on YouTube, and you want to update people on how, what works with this system or system like this, you can show them exactly what games work and what games don't. So, anyway, with that said, let's get started with the first one out of Atlanta from, like I said, Regulum Electronics. Let's see what this one is. Pull it out. Is there anything inside? Nope. Usually there's like a receipt or something, but there's nothing there. And this one is, from the 7800 Dig Dog. So I don't know if this might work or not, but this is the 7800. 7800, of course, was the third Atari system that they did in the 80s, which was kind of basically the first video game system to be backwards compatible with games similar to this. So we'll see. Maybe it might work, maybe it won't, but we'll see. But this is the 7800 one. I think Metal Jesus, used this one to test it out, so we'll see if it works. Alright. Next up, we have from Game On, Play On, out of Newburgh, Oregon. Let's see exactly what these are. And see, and that's my dog in the background. She's sleeping. She's waking up from her sleep a little bit. She's fine. But let's see what these are. No receipt either. And here we have the classic Defender. So we have Defender, and it might work. So it's cool. And then we have, well, the cover's seen better days, and I think the cartridge has seen better days. But we have Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is a game that AVGN actually reviewed back in the day. I think around the mid 2000s, 2007 or something like that, when he was still doing it in his room before going out, moving into the nerd room, as he called it, the newer one that he's currently in and that he's improved on. So yeah, we got Defender, we got Indiana Jones. Pretty cool. And now for the big one out of them. And of course, this one's out of Another Castle video game in Edmonds, Washington. And obviously they had to tape it up because something ripped. So, no problem. Well, they wrapped them with a regular foil, and it looks like we do have a receipt with this one. This one is a receipt, and this was this is what you're supposed to get. This is what you're supposed to get with the other ones, but I guess it decided not to do that. So that's about it for that one. And what are these? Well, there's 3 of them. So let's open up the first one, shall we? And all wrapped up in bubble wrap. So the first one is Pole Position. for the 2600. And sorry about that. I thought I heard something. Like you say, it's got a chip there, so that may or may not hinder it. But it's pole position, which also had a cartoon based on it. So, a pole position. Next up, we have Superman, which the irate gamer Chris Bores reviewed in his history of video games. I think part 5 and 6, when he was talking about the Atari 2600, and how this was like one of the first licensed games based on a franchise that they got. And I think I had this as a kid. I'm not really sure. So we have that, and then of course something else that was talked about by AVGN, and when he did the Star Wars games many years, I wouldn't say many, but several years ago. This was one of them that he talked about. This is the Empire Strikes Back, so that's pretty cool. So we got the Empire Strikes Back. Really like it. So yeah, and that's about it. So in closing, we got Dig Dug 7800 version. Might work with Retron. We'll see. We have Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark. We have Defender. We have Pole Position. Superman. And Empire Strikes Back. And I'll be honest with you, I think we had some of these, not much. I think we had Defender at one point, but we'll see. Not we'll see, but I'll try to find out maybe down the line. But yeah, that's about it. So along with the other two, I now have 8 Atari games, just like in the old days. I don't know if we had that many back when I was a kid, but who knows. But that's about it, guys. Thank you all for watching and enjoying this kind of unique, different kind of change around for a package opening. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like. And I am out.